Welcome back. I'm amateur and sometimes professional filmmaker Mario Arcoello, and after a hiatus of more than 3 years, Weirdest Movies of All Time is finally here again, with one that maybe should make the history books as one of the top weirdest movies in cinema history. From the bizarro world of the 1970s comes The Dark, coming from executive producer and actor in this movie Casey Kasem, who you might know as the smooth-voiced radio DJ from the latter half of the 20th century, and the voice of many cartoon characters, including Scooby-Doo's Shaggy. That in itself may give you a clue just how out there this horror sci-fi mess turned out. And aside from being extremely weird, it is extremely bad. And as we've seen in the past, the two don't necessarily have to go together, but here they do. For a movie called The Dark, you get just that. Many scenes in very low light and almost completely black voids that look like the contrast is turned all the way down on your TV, in which a vaguely defined creature is killing random people in gruesome ways. I have it from a YouTube commenter, so take this with a grain of salt, that the creature was originally written as a zombie, but as Star Wars had just become popular, the filmmakers decided to ride that wave and turn the zombie into a space alien that shoots lasers from its eyes and makes its victims explode, other than one beefy guy who just gets his head cut off. It stars renowned actor William Devane as a hippie turned reformed murderer and then crime writer who's on the hunt for the space killer after it mangles and kills his daughter. And he teams up with the star of That's Incredible, Kathy Lee Crosby, playing a reporter, and Richard Jekyll as a very unlikable cop roaming the streets of Los Angeles at night and not having very much success in their detective work until they meet a wacky psychic who is in turn attacked by the creature right through her own mirror. Really, the movie doesn't know what it wants to be, so it decides to use every trope from horror, sci-fi, and fairy tales to make the story a divine mess. Sometimes they call this creature a zombie, sometimes an alien, and yet it still looks pretty much like a humanoid wearing blue jeans and some pretty nice cowboy boots, because why not? It's just a lot of weird performance moments from the cast, suspenseful music cues, and what are supposed to be tense horror scenes that never can quite be successful. Oh, and speaking of the soundtrack, the weirdness is amped up by a whispery voice continually chanting The Dark in multiple languages. You can tell it's meant to be spooky, but no, just weird. And oh yeah, we have a nice performance from Casey Kasem as the forensics investigator who basically tells the police to go after anyone that looks gray. After no more story than the previously mentioned gruesome and yet also funny fireworks deaths, it all comes down to the final battle between the creature and a legion of cops. And watch here as the laser eyes make a cop float up into the air before he explodes. And then it only takes a simple match for some reason to make the zombie alien explode into atoms himself. A very nice, unexplainable, and unsatisfactory death that makes you go, what the fuck? And that's our criteria for a film like this here at Weirdest Movies of All Time. You want to make a futile attempt to make sense of it yourself? Well, go ahead and check out The Dark from 1979. And make sure to turn up the brightness on your device, or don't, it probably won't help anyway. Until next time, this is Mario Arcoello, and stay weird out there.